So excited to have you guys with me for today. So today I have a very interesting conversation that I want to have with you all of you all. And what I want to talk about today is all about cheat meals and refeeds. And really, I want to talk about the difference between cheat meals and refeeds, and when you should be using them when it comes to your diet and your overall fat loss setup. Now, before we begin, you know that I have a couple of announcements to make and a couple of things I want to get out of the way that I'm really excited about actually. First of all, I want to let you guys know that I am having a special event in August, and it's absolutely free. And it's for those of you who are like not wimps in the gym, okay? It's a little bit of a challenge, and it's called my triple squat challenge. Now I want to bring up the little graphic that I put together that I'm so very proud of. My triple squat challenge. So this August, I want to do something fun for you guys. I want to be able to do something that's going to bring you guys, you know, some focus in the gym and give you a little bit of a workout to kind of raise the bar, get a good workout, work the legs, build the lower body. And my triple squat challenge is all about that. So I'm gonna put up the sign up sheet in a couple of days. I'll put up the sign up for you guys to be able to come on by, sign up for free, and get in on the challenge. Now, the challenge is really, really simple. Basically speaking, what it is a program that I've put together, okay? And the first thing that you have to actually do is find your 1 rep maximum when it comes to your squat. And the idea behind it is to actually help you to increase your strength with your squatting. So you find your 1 rep max for the first workout, and then later on during the week, you hit the actual workout. Now the actual workout is only 3 exercises. It's a front squat, a back squat, and a dumbbell split squat, okay? And you're gonna do this performed as a circuit. I'll give you the whole setup and everything. And the goal is to just increase the weight each and every session. So every time you go into the gym, you're gonna hit it up twice a week. You're gonna try to beat your numbers. By the end of the 4 weeks, because it's only a 4-week challenge that we're gonna do in the month of August, the idea is to see your body improve with your 1 rep max when it comes to your actual squat. So it should be a lot of fun. I've got a couple of my inner circle clients doing it. I'm actually doing it myself. I just did my 1 rep max the other day. So I'll be starting on the plan this week, like fully myself too. So we can all come in, cheer each other on, have a fun August. So I'll put up the sign up sheet for you to be able to find out more information. But if you want to get it ahead of the game, again, this is free. Get on my email list. Click the sign up button above on my Facebook page, and you'll be able to sign up for my free newsletter, and I'll be sending that out to everyone by Friday of this week. And then later on this week, you'll also see it posted on my Facebook page. If you're watching this from YouTube, go down to the description box of this video and you can go ahead and get signed up on my email list there, okay? So let's get back into our conversation for today, cheat meals versus refeeds. So I have a couple of notes, you know, Roxy, I always got some notes for y'all because I want to make sure I hit every single point. Now let's talk about the difference between the two, okay? So I use refeeds a lot with my clients, and I also use cheat meals as well. Whether that client is in contest prep or not, it doesn't matter. Both of these dieting tactics actually have a very important place when it comes to pushing fat loss along and helping you to really get to your goals. So let's talk about what a refeed is and how that works. So usually refeeds are a high carb, low fat focused dietary setup. Okay, so the low fat part is really actually pretty crucial in the game. Okay, so when you're doing a refeed, lots of carbs in there. You actually want to get your calories up closer to maintenance. And a lot of that is the diet itself, that setup day has to be low fat for it to actually do something and work, okay? So when do you use refeeds? Refeeds should be used intermittently between low carb days if you're on a carb cycle. They can also be thrown into the mix for if you've been dieting for a long time. Let's say you've just been on the same kind of plan and just low calories for a while and you need to jumpstart your metabolism. Great idea to throw a refeed in there. So they're used intermittently in a dieting phase of a program, particularly when we're talking about a carb cycle. Next thing, its main purpose and focus is to raise leptin levels in the body. That's a very, very, very important thing. See, as you're dieting, you guys, what happens is the body down-regulates certain hormones. Leptin is one of the major hormones that gets down-regulated when you are dieting. So that means that you're going to see progress and all that other stuff happening for a couple of weeks, and then bam, a lot of you start hitting plateaus. And the reason why is because leptin levels have lowered, and the only way that you can really get that fat loss going again is by raising leptin. One of the things that leptin really responds to are carbohydrates. So that's why refeeds come into the equation, and they can really be a great tool to helping you to get off of that plateau. Next thing you want to think about with refeeds, and this kind of plays into the whole thing when you're carb cycling, okay, it can promote further fat loss through a process called supercompensation. So think of it like this, okay? Let's say you're doing low carbs, right? So you're on low carbs and you are training and all this other stuff. You are depleting your body's glycogen stores. Now your muscles are kind of like sponges in that way, okay? And when you do low carb dieting, you're gonna lose glycogen, but you're also gonna lose a lot of water as well. That's why you usually will see the scale drop really quickly in the beginning of like a carb cycle diet when you're on low carbs. So then what happens, once those glycogen levels are depleted, you feel like a piece of crap. Let me tell you, it does not feel fucking good at all, okay? And then what's the beautiful thing is that you've actually primed your body to be able to absorb all of the carbs that are gonna come in during that refeed, fill up glycogen stores, fill up leptin, and if you're smart about keeping the fat grams low, that's where that supercompensation stuff starts to happen, and fat loss happens even while you're throwing down all of those calories, even though while you're throwing down all those carbs. So it readies your body for supercompensation. That's a long-winded word. If you look it up in Google, supercompensation, you'll see a lot of stuff come up by Lyle McDonald. Go ahead and take a look at his stuff. He's written about this a ton. So the science is actually out there to support this stuff. We're not gonna get too much into it now because I've only got like a 15-minute window to talk to you, but look that up and you'll find out more information about that. So just getting back to refeeds, and let's talk about how the setup should be. So like with a refeed, as opposed to a cheat meal, refeeds you want to actually do for like an entire day's worth of eating. So again, I cannot stress to you enough how you need to keep the carbs super high. You need to keep the fat super low for this to work, but you would set it up over an entire day's worth of eating. And it's really funny because a lot of the research actually says that, like, oh, you can't really raise leptin for very long on just a single day's worth of a refeed. You would probably need to do it for about 2 or 3 days for it to really truly take effect the way that you need it to be. But I found, with my own clients and experience in doing it, 1 day during the week is pretty much enough. Or for some people with higher metabolisms, maybe they can do 2 days, maybe they can do a lower, like moderate carbohydrate day, but it still has its place and purpose. But the way that you would set it up is for an entire day's worth of eating, okay? So that's the refeed. Now let's talk about the cheat meal. I think that cheat meals are essential in the dieting process. Even for my clients who are in contest prep, we actually do a weekly cheat meal for a grand majority of my contest prep clients. Now, when we start getting to a certain point where their bodies need to just really move along, I'll sometimes have them do a cheat meal every other week. Sometimes I'll take it away completely and I'll tell them when they can have it. And sometimes I'll set up a carb cycle and then we'll just use refeeds in there instead of doing a cheat meal or something like that in order to keep their fat loss going and their metabolism humming, okay? So let's talk about cheat meals. So cheat meals can be used in a similar way as refeeds. They can help to boost fat loss further if done correctly by helping to raise calories closer to maintenance for that day, which can marginally have an effect on fat loss, a positive effect on fat loss. So think about this. I mean, again, one of the things that happens when you guys start dieting for a long period of time and you're on these low calories and you're working your butt off, you are down regulating metabolism. And the thing that boosts everything again is when you start to eat more, when you perhaps start to even put, a day where you are eating closer to maintenance. That can help you to get over that plateau, and that's where a cheat meal can come in. Now, the thing about it is that you have to be very careful about your cheat meals, okay? And we'll talk about the setup with that a little bit later, but let me just get to one other thing. So the other thing that I really like about cheat meals is that they can help with dietary compliance as well, especially for some of my newer dieters who are not used to like the hardcore, give me everything regimented. I ain't got to really change too much stuff, or I always give my clients freedom to change whatever they want. we have things in place set up so that way they can do that. But there are some people who just like to have their plan and they don't like to deviate. And some people, they just don't do well with that. And they need to have that freedom maybe once a week, once every other week. And it can help with dietary compliance. Anything to help you further along when it comes to your goals, I'm all for, as long as you're progressing forward. You know what I mean? So that's where cheat meals can really come in for you. Now, here's the thing about the cheat meal that you do have to realize, and it's that it has the potential for causing major setbacks if you're not careful. So a lot of people do a cheat day instead of a cheat meal. Okay, so the difference with refeeds, whereas that can be done in an entire day's worth of eating, your cheat meal cannot turn into a cheat day. Because then you start eating, like with most people, they're not like eating a cheat meal of extra yams or extra chicken. You know, they're eating the pizza, the burger and fries, the cake, the this, the that, the ice cream, the da. And that's when you start seeing stuff just fall apart. And you wonder why you have these setbacks. It's because you're going too crazy. So I always have very specific instructions when it comes to cheat meals in my clients. I tell them, look, we want to save it maybe towards the weekend. That would be great. So like ideally any Friday, Saturday, Sunday is fine. I like to advise clients to have it as the final meal of the day. So that way you enjoy whatever it is that you want. You eat up a storm. You fill up that belly. You kill that craving. You take your ass to sleep. And then you wake up in the morning, get back on your plan. It just makes it so much easier, like mess free. You know what I mean? So that's what I usually like to have my clients do. And I don't put any limits or restrictions as to what they can eat. I just tell them to eat mindfully. Eat until you're full. And then, just know that you don't have to gorge yourself, because that cheat meal will come again. And we don't actually call them cheat meals in my coaching practice. We actually call them free meals, because they are there for a reason. They're not a cheat. I don't want that negative connotation. I know some of you guys play that as well, and it's a better way of looking at things, So we keep things in control. And then what you'll find is that you're able to diet in a more intelligent way along the way. And anything that you guys can do to help you to push things along the smart way is what you should focus on, So that's the difference between cheat meals and refeeds. Now, like I said, when do you want to use them? You have to use your discretion. Now, usually when a client is just starting off on a diet plan, let's say they just started working with me, right? And I usually instruct my clients to follow the plan as I've written it exactly for the first week, okay? I just need you to follow the damn plan. You have no idea how hard people have with following the plan. So I just need them to follow a plan, you know what I mean? And then that's the first week. Second week, I let them sub things out, and then we'll add that cheat meal at the end of the week. And usually by the end of the first week, we're seeing some positive changes in the body. And so I'm giving them a little bit of a reward and easing them into the dieting process by giving them that cheat meal earlier on by the second week. And if a client does really well with that, they're not overeating, they're not driving themselves absolutely batty because they get to eat something that's real to them, then we can keep them in on a weekly basis. Now, if it's somebody who's a contest prep client, we'll start off with that same exact process and do that same exact thing. And then when we get to maybe a couple of weeks out, maybe around 8 weeks out or so, I might say to them, all right, let's do the cheat meal every other day, every other week, and see how the body does with that. If they're still losing and they're still moving along, then I'll allow them to have that indulgence. But then there comes a time when we've got to really tighten it up, especially for the way that the divisions are looking now, because everyone is so hard and lean. So we've got to really tighten it up. You can't eat pizza every damn weekend, not unless you have a metabolism that is just off the chain crazy. So what I usually like to do is actually switch over to a carb cycle where we're lowering carbs for a couple of days, and then we have a day where we just spike the calories up, spike their carbs up with that refeed. And normally we will skip the cheat meal by that point and just ride in on refeeds every week until we get through their peak week and all the way to the show. And here's a beautiful thing for competitors. The reason why I love low carb dieting, or not even low carb, I'm sorry, take that back. The reason why I like carb cycling and using low carbs plus refeeds is, guess what? You're actually practicing your peak week after week, and perfecting it. And that's actually what a carb up is. That's literally all it is. So by the time you're getting into the last week into your show, you already know the food choices that work well with you. You already know how long it takes for your body to blow up with extra water if that happens after a carb up or a refeed day, how long it takes for your body to flush off that extra water. So there's some actual great benefits to it when you're talking about competitors. But either way, they are used as a means to help to push fat loss along. Now, for my non-competitors, let's say we're going a couple of weeks and we're doing the cheat meal thing, and let's say they have a little bit of a slower metabolism. I might make that person have a cheat meal every other week. Or I might say to them, you know what, let's leave the cheat meals alone. We're still gonna allow you to sub things out, have some variety so you're not eating the same damn thing every single day. But what we'll do instead is we'll try carb cycling, and we'll throw a refeed in there on a really high carb day, let's say 1 week, and then the next week we'll skip that. They'll take out that refeed day. We'll just stay on the low carbs, but at the end of the week, put in a cheat meal and see how your body works with that. So there are different ways that you can work it, guys, but do know the difference and how to use them. So that way you can go ahead now and apply that to your own diet, okay? I hope this video was helpful for you guys. You know I'm always here to help. You know I'm always here to share the knowledge. You know I love helping folks. And for me, it's all about spreading information that makes sense and that's supported by science, number one. So do your own research. There's so much stuff out there that you can learn about the body and about nutrition to really start to harness the power of all of this stuff and change your bodies yourself. And for those of you who are not on my email list, I send out a lot of this kind of information through articles, videos, podcasts. I even send out free workouts and stuff like that. So make sure that you click the sign up button at the top of my Facebook profile and get yourself on my email list because it's absolutely free. If you're watching this from YouTube, I'm gonna also put it in the description of this video, and for Facebook too. I'm gonna put it in the description for this video so that way you can click it, go to it right away, and get yourself on that list, stay connected with me, let me teach you, let me share my knowledge because it's something that I freaking love to do. And I do have one more thing before I get out of here, and I want to tell you guys that I am currently accepting new clients as well. So if you're thinking about becoming a rock star, whether you are a competitor or not, I specialize in working particularly with women who want to take control of their bodies, get in the gym, jam it out, no holds bar. You're tired of people telling you to lift like a freaking girl. You want to lift like a Wonder Woman. Come on with me. Come on and work with me. Now, do know this. Whether you're a competitor or not, you've got to be serious about wanting to change your body. You've got to be ready to do this. And you've got to be ready to just let go of the reins and just let somebody else sit in the driver's seat and help you to really truly get to your goals. Listen, you guys, this stuff is hard enough out there. And if you can afford the investment in yourself and you're really serious about changing your bodies, why not? Roxy is here to help you, and I would love to help you to become a rock star. So go ahead and click the link right here above. Okay, I'll put it in the description. It's Rockstar Fitness /online coaching, and you can sign up. I will go ahead and contact you personally with some information and how to get things started. We'll set up a phone appointment, and then we'll go from there. So you guys, I hope that this was helpful for you. Listen, if you have any questions or comments, post them below, and I'll go ahead and make sure that we touch base and that I answer any additional questions that come up. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. You know that I always love having you guys on board. Mwah! Enjoy your day, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.